Hey yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad, he's awesome.
We want cross, we want cross, we want cross. Malenko, do you have a camera?
Yes, I don't want no crust though. I don't know what you're talking about, but
We want cross. Fucking look it up. It's all over X, it's all over Instagram. But it's true, you don't use your phone anymore. So
what is crust?
carrying cross. WWE gave him a contract.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It shows you don't look at anything, but it's okay. The reason why I'm asking you if you have a camera is because I need you to take a picture because Derick is here.
Fucking asshole. It's the
Derick!
ghost. It's the ghost of Derick.
Malenko, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm wonderful. I love how comfortable you are. I've been in that room and it looks amazing. You just need a poster behind you just to make it look a bit more lively.
Yeah, today I bought like more wall art, but it's all in the living room and my oh dude, I found in the thrift shop, okay, somebody in this world left at the thrift shop a fucking like a 12 by 8
Okay.
of Chris Montesanti with 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 Andrea.
Get out.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
bought it?
why. Yeah, I fucking bought it. I have it hooked up in my bedroom now.
It's expensive.
No, I don't think so. It's just weird. And you have a James Gandolfini picture as well, like in a movie, but it wasn't Sopranos thing, so I didn't buy it. But it's just super weird. So I have a Chris Montesanti and Adriana
That's amazing. Why don't you put it up in
picture.
that room?
No, because it needs to be in my. It's a black frame, and I have a whole wall with black frames. So
Okay. Derek, how the hell have you been?
Busy. The work, life stuff, concerts, festivals, just the likes of it. September's about to be crazy too. So, but yeah, overall, not too bad. Yourself?
Not bad. I'm relaxed. I'm wonderful. I'm trying to live my best life as best as possible. But how was the Linkin Park concert? I know you're a huge Linkin Park fan. I wanted to ask you. We had a bit of a conversation, but you've been to the show. This is why you're busy because you go to concerts and you don't tell us. But how was the Linkin Park show?
Um, it was hard at first. The beginning of it was difficult for me because out of probably all the bands that I've listened to in my childhood and coming up, I think Linkin Park was probably the most influential for me personally, just in terms of the music and the overall lyrics and stuff. And anyone who's been really close to me since childhood knows that I took Chester's passing pretty hard whenever he passed away. So it was definitely I guess it was part of a healing process really to go to the Linkin Park show. At first, my girlfriend got tickets. I told her I didn't want to go, so she was going to go with her friend. Um, and then her friend's boyfriend also got a ticket. So then my girlfriend would have had to be the third wheel. So I was like, you know what, I'll just go. Um, the first two, three songs was a little hard. And then I guess I just needed to get it out. And then for the rest of the show, it was really good. Listen, she's really, really good. She's really talented. Mike Shinoda always kills it live. Really, I think he's just a really underrated artist to begin with. Um, and yeah, Linkin Park absolutely killed it. The Bell Center was on fire, sold out 19,500 people, almost sold out the day I went. Uh, and it's one of the loudest crowds I've ever heard at the Bell Center, if not louder. Like, I think the only thing louder is a Montreal Canadiens game, but that's just because of the sheer volume of people. But for a concert, it's the loudest I've ever heard the Bell Center. It was, yeah, it was absolutely insane. Really, really good. Played all the bangers. Really have nothing negative to say. The whole experience. Center stage, sort of like a rectangular stage, but in the middle, so you could see from all angles. Huge screens up everywhere. Really good. The sound was amazing.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it was really good. Normally, the sound at the Bell Center tends to get iffy, but because it was a center stage and there was speakers all around, the sound projected really well. Um, I think future shows at the Bell Center should really be like that. If bands are looking to have maximum sound, do the center stage. It's insanely better in terms of just the quality of the production, the quality of the volume. But yeah, overall it's pretty good.
And speaking of music, speaking of concerts, what have you been listening to? We haven't really spoken about music, and this is your first episode in a long time. So what have you been listening to?
I've been listening to a bit of everything. I've been diving down mostly, honestly, a lot of podcasts. So not quite a lot of music, but just a lot of podcasts. I've been really diving into all the WWE production podcasts. So the Cody Rhodes podcast, the Undertaker podcast. I've been diving into a lot of that stuff. They've been, not that they've been pushing it more, but they've been getting a lot more interesting guests that I was really curious. Stephanie McMahon also did well with Randy Orton that I thought was really good. She did a 2-part series with John Cena. So I've really been diving into that. And then pretty much, I'd say for the last 4 days, 4 or 5 days, I've been listening to the JID album pretty much on repeat. I'm a JID fan, as you guys know.
Is it JID or is it JID? I never know.
In one of the songs in the album, there's a feature by someone, and she refers to him as JID. So I'll just refer to him as JID from now on. But yeah, I've been listening to that album, which we're gonna review today. That's been on heavy replay. And then I got to keep up with metal, so I've been listening to a lot of the metal and everything that came out. Malenko loves the new Despised Icon single. It's absolutely great. I Prevail came out with 3 songs in the last month. They're coming out with an album too. So for as much as this hip hop podcast, the underground sort of like up and coming and even established bands on the metal scene, they're doing really, really, really well. And I know I've said this before, but we're getting into the age boys where all those iconic albums from our childhood are celebrating 20 years, 25 years. I think we're just celebrating, today or tomorrow, actually, we're celebrating 30 Seconds to Mars, A Beautiful Lie, which was a pretty big album back in our day. Pretty much, it was a big, back in the day, 30 Seconds to Mars was on top of that whole punk rock world. They were emo world. They were on top of the world. And to be fair, it's a decent album. So yeah, it always brings back memories whenever they start re-releasing certain stuff. You should go back, you listen to it, you're like, oh, was it really that good or was it not that good? We've just been getting a lot of references from 20 years ago. Even on the albums we're going to review, there's 2 albums have a reference line to something from 20 years ago, and I thought it was just really funny, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but it was really interesting. So yeah, just nostalgia. That's pretty much it.
So let's get into the trifecta of albums that we're going to be reviewing this evening. I have.
Oh wait, hold up.
Yeah,
Malenko. He went to see Chromacopia.
Yeah,
we spoke about it. You don't listen to the other episodes.
We spoke about on the Tyler the Creator review actually, because it was a day after.
I'm late on the podcast, boys.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a busy guy. That's why. So you're gonna have to go listen to know what Derick.
We need to get the cross dude here.
Sure.
Then Derick's gonna listen to us.
If there's a wrestling guest, Derick will sit down and probably listen.
Yeah, call Cross.
You have no idea who Karrion Kross is, huh?
Killer Cross.
Karrion Kross.
To this day, Kofi Kingston had one of the greatest lines of all time for Karrion Kross in a promo. He said, Karrion, Karrion Kross missing 1 letter to be KK. And then he just stops in the middle. Oh, it was so good, dude. I have to send it to you guys, but it's great. Anyway, album reviews. Let's go.
Trifecta of albums. I have 2 glasses of water here because we're going to have a lot to talk about. The first album that we're going to start off this evening is the new godBLESSbeatz album, Slime Stew 2. If you haven't heard
Slime Stew 2, trying to say that shit 10 times quick.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Slime Stew 2. I can't say that shit.
If you haven't heard the first one, go listen to the first one, please. It's on all streaming platforms. But the second one is fucking something to listen to. We were talking about what we've been listening to, what you've been listening to. This has been in my heavy rotation since it came out. I'm super happy that I gave it a good week of nonstop listening before we reviewed it, because I'm not a huge fan, and I think I've said this on this podcast, I'm not a huge fan of quote unquote compilation albums. I think they're very difficult to get in because I find a lot of the times that they don't blend in. It's just a bunch of beats and a bunch of features, and it kind of doesn't mesh well. Machacha has put out a lot of compilation albums, and I find he does them really well, and it's something that I could go back to. But godBLESSbeatz, it's not his first. It probably won't be his last. He is somebody that's so sharp in doing these compilation albums because he's so versatile in making beats and producing music that this one really, really stood out to me, and it's super enjoyable. Um, the word for this album to me is talent and a really good ear for music, a perfected execution. Man, the amount of features on here. We have Mondo Slade, we have K-Prez, Doughboy Philly, Primo Jab, XP the Markman, Funk P, Jalen Frazier, Fly Fetty, Conspiracy, Bless Picasso, Trap Hefe, Liam Capital, Stevie Crooks, Giacana, Those are the Drum Dealer, and Stars Coleman. There's a bunch of artists on here that I have never heard about. Okay. And we're going to talk about key tracks on here that really stood out to me, but there's a bunch of artists that I never heard about. And this is something that really attracted me to this, is getting into artists I don't know. We tend to stick to the same artists all the time, and the same artists consistently always be putting out music. So it kind of sometimes is difficult to get attracted to other artists because we're so into the same artists or a featuring or whatnot. But a record like this, having so many people I've never heard about and being able to really tap into see what they could do for the first time is really something interesting for me. Another thing about the record that's super important to mention, that the beats are crisp, they're clear, it's a perfected sound, and they sonically all blend in one after another. That's something that's super important on a compilation album, is how the beats are able to blend in. And somebody that like godBLESSbeatz, who's really able to do any type of beat, that he's so versatile with his production, it's difficult to be able to mesh all that together, and he really did an excellent job at doing this. The album cover is exactly what the album is. It's basically him in a kitchen or a lab with a blowtorch, a knife, a chick in the back with a sink, and him just perfecting this stew. It's like being the chef when creating an album, just blending in all the different styles of production he has, all the different artists that he has on here. And like I said, it's basically just the cover is basically what the album is. We start off the album with Mondo Slade, the unorthodox artist with some of the best hooks in hip hop. Pile Drive a Bitch is one of my favorite lines on that whole fucking song. They've done work together, and this just really continues Masks and Bandanas. All three of us have been fans of Masks and Bandana, of the earlier project that they put together, and this is just a different, not a different, but a continuation of what they've been able to do. Frida Kahlo, dark, rugged, heavy sampled beat, featuring K-Prez. It's a standout track on here. I thought it was amazing and flowed super well after Cannonball. Cheddar Biscuit. What the fuck type of beat is Cheddar Biscuit? Fucking spacey, blended bass with it. It literally sounds like Doomsday is happening. So well put together. It's probably my first or second favorite song on here. Super, super amazing. And who the hell is Doughboy Philly? I want to learn more about Doughboy Philly. I want to know who the hell this guy is. He sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he did really something with this beat. Night Rider featuring Primo Jam. Why does Primo Jam sound so angry, like he wants to kill everyone on here? No,
Maybe he does.
He comes correct. He's amazing on this. But my only gripe with this is I wanted more. I wanted more. I didn't just want one verse from Primo, and it's probably done on purpose because there's the beat switch into the movie sample on here. But fuck, it left me hanging. I was like, fuck. I literally thought that when the beat was gonna switch, we would have got more Primo on there. But I guess it's, hey, we're gonna wait. But man, he fucking killed it.
Yep.
What else in here? Logo in the Sky featuring
Banger.
XP the Markman and Funk P. This is a beat full of keys, very boom bap. And I'm gonna tell you this, Malenko, it feels like Little Brother could rap on this style of beat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of. It's like a Little Brother. Yeah, a lot of trumpets. Really triumphant type of beat.
Yeah.
I would definitely see Little Brother on that. Mussolini.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the beat changes at the end, and it goes into an eerie style horror scene type of beat.
Yeah.
It's sonically, mentally insane. Fried Rice with Jalen Frazier. If you haven't heard of Jalen Frazier, him and godBLESSbeatz put out a 7-song album, Ethics of War, that I think everybody needs to go listen to, because this fucking dude, Jalen Frazier, could rap his ass off. Rap his ass off. His flow is exquisite. It's amazing. You're probably going to look for it, right, Malenko? It's you need to listen to that record. If you haven't listened to it yet, even you, Derick, you would probably like this record, probably more than me and Malenko. You like that lyrical content type of rap, like a guy who could Ethics of War.
Ethics of War.
Jalen Frazier.
That's a great name for an album, by the way.
Yeah, wait till you see the cover.
Oh Jesus! You know I am with covers. They're gonna get. Yeah, that's a pretty. That's a cool cover. All right, it's added to the playlist.
I listened to this when I went to Disney Orlando. It came out in the same week, and the whole time I was at the airport, I continuously just played this. Yeah. Jalen Frazier also has other albums that I haven't fully gotten into, but this has really set the standards for me of this guy and what he could do, and he could rap his ass off. What else do we have on here? We had the recipe featuring me.
Yep.
First and foremost, I want to give a huge thank you to godBLESSbeatz. It's an honor for you to put me on this album and for me to be a part of this whole process. Thank you. But man, that beat that you put my voice on, fuck.
Okay, so I need to cut you off right now. Folks, to anyone who's listening, Steven is a strange cat. Steven walks around, talks around, baddest guy in the room. That's just Steven, all confidence. But then the guy never ever says anything about ever being mentioned on a song. He doesn't tell me, hey, by the way, doesn't say anything like that. There's been did we ever bring up the verse where you're mentioned by Vega on this podcast?
No, I don't think so. Me and Malenko might have spoken about it.
I know you and I have spoken about it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But man, Steven needs to start flexing just a little bit more. He also needs to keep me in the loop just a little bit more. He's like, hey, Derick, listen to this. Let me know what you think. And then I don't have time. You need to tell me what I got to actually listen to, my brat.
Yeah, you just don't listen. That's the problem. I text you a bunch of stuff and you just don't. You're like Malenko. You basically just pay attention to what you want to pay attention.
That is a lie.
I don't answer my phone anymore. I just don't.
Malenko just stopped.
But getting back to it,
yes,
the beat that was used, godBLESSbeatz. That's a fucking incredible jazzy, fucking heavy voice sampled beat, man. That's a crazy beat. Send me that beat. Let me send you a hot 16 on there.
Oh no.
Maybe I'll give you 60 bars. Let me do something. That beat is too incredible. What else on here? Nautica Windcoat with Conspiracy and Bless Picasso starts off very jazzy, drumless, and then goes really into a heavy and grimy type of beat. Amazing transition. Then we have Gator featuring Trap Hefe, very trappy, wavy type of beat. And then
That's wavy.
fucking
so
wavy,
wavy.
no? Free
Yeah.
Trap Hefe. But fuck.
Free Max B.
Free Max B, exactly.
Wave God.
But that beat, man, is amazing. And who else better than Trap Hefe to be on a type of beat like that? That's what I say. Sonically just flows perfectly on this album. And then into What's on Your Mind featuring Liam Capital and Stevie Crooks. Jazzy, soulful, ride around type of beat. I would have heard a Larry June on this.
Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, the top two producers, I don't know if godBLESSbeatz is one or two after what he just produced with this. And
solid album.
What I have to say, and I'm gonna repeat myself for this, you have to have an ear in music to be able to produce this way. Plain and simple. You have to be able to know what you're doing when you're perfecting beats or putting beats together. Like you're listening to this and you have boom bap at one point, then you have a grimy type of beat. Like literally, there's so much going on. It's literally like an explosions of beats on here, and how it's clear and crisp and perfected is just amazing. It's just amazing. Super well done with this project. Super well done. 38 minutes, 15 songs. If nobody has heard this, press play. You're going to get into so many different artists on here. And what I love also about it, throughout the album, there's a lot of skits that kind of the title of the songs go with what's being said in the skits, which is our parts from movies. And godBLESSbeatz, Primo, remember when we had the conversation with him, Malenko? They're big movie head guys.
Yeah.
Big movie head buffs. So it's amazing to have that ear when you're listening to music to be able to find this. Slime Stew 2. Check it out. You guys want to add anything? Malenko, you need to listen. Derick, you need to listen to this.
I will. I just haven't had time. Whenever you send me a lot of these album reviews, especially with the sort of like I don't want to really call it time constraint, but having to listen to such dense albums in a short amount of time, often what I do is you send me the list, I just pick one, I hope to get to two, and then three. So sometimes I miss the better one. Sometimes I get the good one and I don't listen to the slightly less good one. It just turns out that so the way, and especially going into the next album, I had heard you guys probably mention Roc Marciano more than you guys mentioned godBLESSbeatz in the past. And since I had never listened to Roc Marciano, that's probably why I took that one. I'm like, oh, they've mentioned it before. Pretty prolific guy in the space. Let me see what he's about. So that was like my first intro into him, which is the only reason why I missed this project. And I'll get to it tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah, so Derick won't give a score. I'm going to go with my score off this record. It's going to be a solid 8.5. Malenko?
I'll give it a solid 8. Solid 8 out of 10.
You know, this is something that you could ride around blasting in your beats in the summer in your car. 100%. 100%. And godBLESSbeatz and Primo Jab, Don't Lie to Me. There's different verses for that song. I want to hear those verses. Don't Lie to Me. I want to hear those verses. Primo has had to have given you 2 or 3 verses for that song. So I'm waiting for them. Just send it to my inbox. I appreciate it. We're getting to the second album. Sure. Does anybody want to kick it off? Malenko, do you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, this came out of nowhere. They had one single in the past, but we have a major link up. DJ Premier and Roc Marciano, The Coldest Profession. Jesus. This is 2 big names right away. I did not expect this.
Can I add something? Is it two big names from almost two different eras? Even though DJ Premier still has done stuff 20 years after when he started, 30 years after when he started, and Roc Marciano was doing things in the 90s also. But these are, if you really put it together, DJ Premier, late 80s, early 90s was when he was at his peak. Roc Marciano, the 2010s, was really when he was at his peak when you look at it.
Yeah. So what was the question? I don't remember.
You
I
just
can't
wanted to add
remember what
something.
I just wanted to add something, but continue.
I don't remember what was your question, but there's two big names. I mean, just I wonder. I mean, the Coldest profession already just with the title, you're expecting something. I was a bit underwhelmed by the album. It kind of disappoints me a bit. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's fabulous. I don't know. I just think DJ Premier beats, they weren't at the level that I expected. Some are really good. Some I think they're very lackluster, but that's my main thing about the album. I'm a bit disappointed by it. It's a bit underwhelming for me. Especially for Roc Marciano, you need to surround him with. I think Roc Marciano is for Roc Marciano beats. I truly think when he gets on under production, these other producers think they know what they can do with Roc, but they don't know what they can do with Roc. Roc does these weird beats for himself, and when he goes on more contemporary, I think it dissolves a bit his talent, some kind of way.
I kind of understand what you're saying because the first couple of listens, I was very underwhelmed to the point where I was like, was this super rushed? Were they together when this came out? Is there even a meaning behind why they did this? I understand what you're saying. I felt the exact same way. I actually had a conversation with somebody regarding this, and they kind of felt the same way as you and as me on the first listen. I just think there's a time and a place for this record. That's what I think it is. Now, if you look at it, there's 8 songs and it's 20 minutes. The songs aren't 3-4 minute tracks on here. But it's still interesting to me that these two linked up to put a project together. It's interesting.
Because it's 8 songs. It really is just 7 because there's the intro arrival is not a song, so it's just 7 songs. And out of the 7, like Glory Hole is not something that like. The beat is really just a drum pattern.
I love that song. That's my favorite song on here. I'm actually shocked.
Favorite song?
I really like Glory Hole. That bass line and that hi-hat cymbal.
It's just hi-hats and bass.
You didn't like that? I'm actually
no.
It's actually a call out because you like when there's a different background sound to it. No?
No. It's just a hi-hat and a bass.
Fuck, I like that. I really enjoyed that song. Maybe I'm getting.
You can do half a song like that or an interlude or something, but not the whole song. 2 minute 37 of hi-hats. I mean, you should have cut it or something. I don't think it's. I mean, Roc Marciano is always low-key beats and minimalistic, but it's just a hi-hat and a bass. What do you think about it, Derick? You like that?
It's catchy.
It's
catchy. I listen.
Damn.
So
more than our money section.
I really didn't like Armani section. So listen, this was my first venture into Roc Marciano. I had just, of course, again, I had just came off another album, which was probably lyrically a little bit more interesting. Wow. I didn't know who Roc Marciano was. I got into rock. I listened to this and I was like, I'm not quite sure this is my cup of tea. And the only thing that kept me for the first half, the only thing that kept me in the project was the production. I love the old school scratchy beats. I really do. I love the scratches on the certain songs.
Yeah, the scratches
are amazing. I love the old school sort of hip hop flair to that. I really do. And then I like Roc Marciano's tone. Very calm, very composed. There's not too many inflections. He stays he rides the pocket very well. The subject matter is what the subject matter is.
It's slick talk.
Yeah, it's slick talk.
It's all slick talk. Yeah, like, you need to listen to this with a mink. Like
yeah.
It's all about clothing.
You need to listen with gold glasses, like rings on every finger.
I get it. It's just
like a cane.
But once again, had this been, let's say, like I only listened to 2 albums out of this whole review, and let's say this would have been the first album, I would have been like, yeah, okay, I get the vibe. But because I started with the album that we're gonna review next, it's one of those where like my level of expectations never truly resets to zero revisiting albums. I always sort of stay on a high or on a low from the previous album. Nothing ever resets. So if I feel like the project that I listened to first was an 8, my sort of baseline is for an 8 or above. Whenever I have an 8, whenever I have something below an 8, it hits me harder. It's hard for me to be truly objective because I'm always comparing it to what I listened to first. With that being said, I think the production for the first half of it was really good. It's slick talk. Once again, I probably just have to be in a mood for that kind of slick talk. Glory Hole, I enjoyed it. I think the way Roc Marciano rode that beat, his flow on it, I think it was really, really, really good. Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Malenko, you don't hear Guru on that Glory Hole? Like,
yeah,
I hear Guru all over that song.
Yeah. That's probably why
he sampled him.
Yeah, that's why probably DJ Premier wanted to do something. That monotone.
Yeah.
That monotone voice, that flow.
And it's where Roc really switches up his flow and kind of stays in pocket with the beat on here. To me, it's a standout. I know you love to death till you die, Malenko, Armani section because of the scratches. It's a classic primo beat, right?
Dude, Armani section is crazy good, man. When that shit started, oh my god, I could have. Then Pray Your Hands, I was like, okay, I get it. Good to go. I don't like that beat that much.
It's my least favorite beat on here. 100%.
Yeah, and then there's Glory Hole that I'm like, so Good to Go and Glory Hole are the two that I'm not too down with. And after that, like Rock Markable, Travel Fox, Execution Style is top quality for me. Execution Style, that's my shit. When you get those slow beats and Rock is just stuck in that slick shit, like I want to slap someone. I want to backhand someone when I hear shit like that for disrespecting me or something like that. Like that's the type of shit I feel like.
Look,
if you cross me on Saint Catherine and I'm listening to that and you fucking bump my shoulder, I'm back slapping the shit
like
out
that.
of you.
Like that guy the other time that thought that you pushed his girlfriend.
Yeah, and he wanted to stab me. And
he got you on a good day.
Yeah, he recognized my friend. He recognized my friend. He did the eye thing. So if he get close to me next time, if he gets close to me, I'm dropping him right away.
but that's what
because he's crazy. So if he gets close to me, I'm dropping him, no matter where I am.
But you have to be listening to this though.
Yes. But right? It's not gonna be a backhand. It's gonna be a full-on overhand right punch.
We don't condone violence on this podcast. Neither.
No, it's self-defense.
It's absolutely condone violence. I love violence.
It's self-defense.
But Malenko, look, he started off with that. DJ Premier is never gonna start off his albums not sounding like what DJ Premier does. Right? He's not gonna start off with that 80s, 90s boom bap. scratches, 80s and 90s voice samples, hip hop voice samples, or hip hop song samples. That's what it's gonna be. He's got to kick you off on there, and Roc Marciano did an amazing job on that song. Amazing. It's different. You don't hear Roc Marciano on that style of production. And the thing that stuck out to me on this album is nothing sounded grimy. None of it. Zero. Pantoute. And I love that about it because it really got out of that element. Could have DJ Premier given him better beat selections? I would think absolutely 110%. Do I think this album was rushed? Absolutely 110%. Did this album grow on me? Absolutely 110%. Is it something I'm going to go back to from the Roc Marciano catalog? Probably not. But there's standout things on here. One of my favorite verses of Roc Marciano just fucking came into my head from this album. Like literally, Travel Fox. Yo, hitman for hire, fan the fire. Where's the iron? The hammer's inside my lady's hairy vagina. 5 bricks of china, the spare tire. The 45 big is a hair dryer. This the wig flyer. The ribbon tire, the chicken fryer. Hit your tire, never miss fire like Chris from The Wire. I took my phone when I heard that and I launched it down the stairs.
Yeah, that's Roc Marcy. Yeah, that's right.
The fucking syllables and how he does that is fucking remarkable to me.
Yeah.
Remarkable. And when he starts talking in the third person, that's what stands out to me about him. Right?
Yeah, he's funny, man. I mean, fuck.
He's smooth. It's pimp shit. It's slick talk. Like dust off your shoulders type of thing.
Yeah.
And
but I get it why people weren't like him.
Why?
I get
you do?
Baby.
Fuck. I don't understand.
There's a lot of people that don't like him. I show him to a lot of people and they're like, I don't get it.
I don't think it's for everybody because of the way he flows, and it's kind of like, okay, what is he saying? Why is he doing this? But that's just the style of rap that he is. Right? It's like Knowledge the Pirate too. He fucking talks in the third person. He's fly, I'm better than you type of shit.
But there's also probably like introductions to this kind of stuff. You know, if Roc Marciano is like the final boss of this style of hip hop and this style of rhyming, then there's got to be an entry point to it. Like I would probably like listening to Roc Marciano, and like this is the first time I hear him, I would probably like, hey guys, what's another artist that is like a gateway into this style of hip hop that I need to listen to before I could truly learn to appreciate Roc Marciano? Or is there another project of his that is a better way for me to get introduced to him rather than like full prime Roc Marciano really honing his craft? You know what I'm saying? Like where's the Roc Marciano like learning what his sound is going to be? And that's how I get into it rather than him like having perfected that sound of his.
I would go like Evidence. I would go like Guru. I would like all those guys that are slow talkers and
Step Brothers
and monotone voices like Step Brothers, and maybe something that's like subject matter is a little bit more profound, a little bit less pimp talk and street talk.
You know what?
Like a Rakim at one point. Like Rakim, I think he's the best rapper of all time.
Yeah, you know what?
And he's monotone as shit.
People who are listening right now, drop in the comments what Derick should listen to get into that style, and just have an easier process when listening to Roc Marciano.
I still think is more accessible album that every hip hop lover would is The Bitter Dose.
Yeah, but there's some fucking flows on there that
The Bitter Dose, because you get the classic hip hop beats on there, and you get those weird ass what the fuck Roc Marcy is doing type of production.
You don't think he should start with Reloaded?
No.
Fuck, I love that album.
I would no, because it's too dark. It's too dark. Reloaded is too dark for someone.
Okay, you know what?
You see no sunshine in there.
Do Bitter Dose.
It's a dark room.
Do the bitter
dose. It goes like this, you know.
Okay.
Mount Marcy is like you're in a psych ward. Like Dude, I went back to that and it's underrated.
Mount Marcy, you have the vinyl, right?
I will go 2. The Bitter Dose, it would be my first for someone that comes in, and the second one would probably be Marcialago.
Oh, I would have said Marsberg. I would have said his first album. Because it kind of
Marksburg, yeah, it's true, but it's more contemporary, it's more normal. Yeah.
You're starting with that, so you see the growth in how his style changed.
But Roc Marci is not that anymore. That's the thing. Roc Marci is not that anymore.
Man, had that gap between Reloaded and what was after Reloaded? I feel like I'm drawing a blank before the
Derick, you need to listen to A Bitter Dose. That's my favorite one. And
I added it to the playlist.
Like this classic fucking beats on there that I would never skip in my life. And there's some songs that are so weird that they become my classics for me, like classics.
Okay.
Yeah,
he made it. I think it's Spring King. What Spring Bed King?
Bed Spring
King or something like that. The beat is
it's
a did a beat with that fucking thing, and it sounds amazing. It's crazy.
So he's a bit of a troll.
No, he's
man. He's like that pimp talk. He's like
slick talk. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
Came out in 2018. It's Bed Spring King, Milenko.
Bed Spring King. Oof. Yeah. What a fucking album that is. And then he didn't like, dude, Mount Marcy is like a cycle. If you listen to like Broadway Billy, listen to Broadway Billy, listen to Baby
with
Powder.
Cool Keith.
Wicked Days. Do you remember that song, Wicked Days?
Mount Marcy is in my top 3 of Roc Marciano. I love Mount Marcy.
Dude, listen to Wicked Days. There's nobody in hip-hop doing shit like that.
Mount Marcy to me is a 9.5 album. I'll argue with everybody. Mount Marcy, Reloaded, and The Bitter Dose for me. Yeah, you know what, Derick? That's what you should do.
Okay.
Kill You? Oh my god! Whatever. I'm not gonna start talking about The Bitter Dose because to me that's a fucking that's a perfect album to me. I'm gonna say it right now. 10 City, Bohemian Grove, Sax Fifth, Bed Spring King. Those are probably one of my favorite beats of time. And the Power, the last song, Power, fuck, insane. 67 Lobby, Kill You. Oh my god!
And then
Kill You, 67 Lobby, bro. I can listen to that all day.
You know what you're gonna do, Derick? Before Milenko interrupts me, Pouches of Tuna on Blue Chips 1 by Action Bronson. The first song is featuring Roc Marciano. Okay, I still remember to this day where I was. I was on the bus going to meet my girlfriend at work downtown on Saint Denis, listening to that song. That's where I was like, this guy is an incredible MC. You really want to get into Roc Marciano, you start off with Marsberg and you work your way up. Do what Milenko did first. Wait till you hear the Pouches of Tuna on that fucking beat. Your head's gonna explode. You're gonna listen to the song 400 times in a row. You'll listen to it for 48 hours. Okay. That's how fucking crazy that song is.
All right.
Milenko, look, I'm just gonna end it off with this because we literally went into a different direction. The execution style is incredible. I love that track, but it ends on a cliffhanger. It ends on a cliffhanger. It makes me want more. Do I call this an EP? Do we call this an album? Do we call this an appetizer? What do we call it? I'm giving it a 7 on 10.
I'll go with the same 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5 because it's not enough. And there's 2 beats on there that I don't think I'm going to go back to anytime soon. But for their lyricism and what they brought, 6.5.
There could have been better. Like literally, this could have been a solid 9 if it was longer and DJ Premier gave him a bit more better crafted DJ Premier beats. Derick, are you giving it a score or no?
I'll give it a score. I'll give it a 6.5.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the production. I enjoyed the early part of the production. I like that old school scratchy type of beat. And though the subject matter didn't really hit it was really like not really a hit for me. I did enjoy his flow. I think he got into pocket a few times on this record that I think showcases his talent, and for that reason, yeah, 6.5 I feel was acceptable.
Uh, Malenko, we're gonna get Derick to kick off this one because it's one of Derick's favorite hip hop artists, I think. And this is probably the only reason why he wanted to do the episode tonight. So Derick, take it away.
Not the only reason why I wanted to do the episode, but it's all good. So we're of course talking about the new JID project. Came out last week. God Does Like Ugly. Really unique name for a for an album. But with that being said, listen, we know JID is a little bit more mainstream. But out of the mainstream rappers, I feel like he's the one that probably hits it the best with the underground hip hop fans. I feel like he's probably one of the mainstream artists that underground hip hop fans enjoy the most. I've never really been disappointed by a JID project. They're all pretty different, and it's more him really becoming really coming into his sound and what he does best. And for me, this album was just a confirmation of that. If there's any doubt in terms of JID being one of the best MCs out there flow wise, I don't know how you could disagree. I think his flow is impeccable. I think the way he writes beats on certain songs, always finding a cadence that you wouldn't think would necessarily work, or a flow that wouldn't necessarily work. The way he adapts, the way he switches it up. I think he's one of the best to do it. So yeah, this album, 15 songs, 57 minutes. Not a single one of those 57 minutes for me anyway was wasted. I enjoyed all 57 minutes of it. It did feel a little long coming off of some of the more shorter hip hop albums that we've been reviewing lately. It's been a lot of like 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 songs, and always hovering around like the 25 to 40-ish minute mark. Now we're going for a 57. But it's like one of those movies, whenever you look at the runtime of a movie and it's 2 hours and a half, and then some movies feel like it's that 2 hours and a half, and then some don't. For me, this didn't feel like it was a 57-minute album. I'm not really going to get into the standout tracks right now because I'm really curious to see how you guys approach this. But I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. I think, like I said, I think flow-wise, he's one of the best to do it right now. And he has some really interesting features on this as well. Some underground hip-hop, some less underground hip-hop. That's the one where we'll get into.
My bitch ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, I think that one right away. So I listened to this. I listened to this in the car. And in the car, Spotify being on a smaller screen, I can't see the feature because I have my navigation and I have Spotify, so I can't see the feature. And as soon as the beat hits and I hear I was like, this sounds just like West Side Gun. And then I just click and it's West Side Gun. I was like, I'm getting it. I'm getting the sound. If that's what the thing is, that's what the thing is. But I'm curious to see what you guys thought of the overall project before we get into some of the standout tracks.
Malenko, go.
Dude, I press to not see the features. Dude, I got surprised by a lot of them. Because the way I did it, I say already a million times on this spot, but the way Spotify is built, I go on the album, and once I'm on it, I just press play without looking, and then I put my phone away. That's why I don't respond to no one, because I'm on airplane mode. Nobody, do not disturb, and I put my phone away now that I have this new place, so I'm always my phone away somewhere, and I'm listening to the music only, so I don't think about the phone. That's my number one thing. So
basically, I could be dead, and you'll find out a week later,
probably, because I won't check my phone. So, and I'll be listening to music. So yeah. So when West Side Gun started this shit, I'm like, oh fuck, that's the wrong project. I pressed on the wrong project, but I didn't recognize the song. So I was like, oh, this is the wrong song. And then I checked. No, it was really, that's how it started. It's funny. It's funny because West Side Gun on his own albums, he don't start his albums usually. So it's funny to have a starter like that. I wish he had a verse.
Yes and no, but yes and no. Continue.
And yeah, JID. I mean, JID to me top guy in mainstream for a long time. I would, where there was a lot of conversation of big three, and I would JID is there. I think JID is in the top three. I would move away J. Cole. I would move away Drake. Just on talent wise, he's up there. He's probably one of the mainstream dudes that I care the most. That being said, JID is not someone that I go back to. Very rarely. The Forever Story is a great album. I think it's probably one of the best albums in hip hop in the last years. But I just don't find myself going back to JID stuff. I listened to him a lot because I put his music on my playlist for the store. So I listen to the songs that I listen to him. They're always on rotation. I know them because it plays well on my store. So that's something that I go back. I listen to him a lot. And again, this album, is performance is A+. For me, the only thing about this album is the beats. They don't get to me that much. I think they're loud. I think it's heavy, but there's something that it doesn't attach to me is the beats. And I don't know why. Maybe they're gonna grow on me with time, but there's not much beat on here that I get stuck with. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, especially like the intro, glory work. It's not something that even Community. I like Community the beat, but it's something that I don't get wowed by it. I think his old beat production, all beat selection was better than what he took on here.
I get where you're going with that. So the first time I listened to it, I don't want to cut you off though. Do you have anything else to say before I add?
The first time I listened to it, I didn't like it because it was on a really shitty speaker.
Okay.
I didn't like it, and I went like, okay,
that makes sense though with the heavy bass that's being used.
Yeah,
and
it was a very shitty speaker I have at work for my office. So I listened to it, and I was like, man, nothing is hitting. But then I listened to it with my headphones, and yeah, it's a totally different experience. But the guy with the bar is phenomenal, man. He's phenomenal. One of the best lyricists right now.
For JID, whatever you want to call it, because I really don't know what it is, and I don't want to be the guy getting it wrong, so I'm gonna say both. I think this is not a bad album. When he puts out an album, I always gravitate towards it. He's like you both have said in the mainstream. He's somebody that's important. He's somebody that we have to go back to. He's somebody that we need to pay attention to. You spoke about big three, whatever. He's in a category with the Kendricks. He's in the categories with the Vince Staples. He's in the categories with the Tylers. He's those guys. He's that guy with those guys that I always tend to go back to because he brings a lyrical aspect to his music. So I'm gonna press play. I love that he has multiple flows on here. I find he's way more aggressive with his flows on here than his previous projects. He has a lot of different storytelling on here. There's a lot more of an emotional standpoint to this album. You go from aggressive to more of his come up and what he's had to go through in certain songs.
Yeah, those songs are nice,
right? There's more of that emotional, you have the more of the female vocalists on here. You have the Don Toliver, you have the Ty Dolla, six is it Six Black, whatever it is,
Black,
that Jesse Reyes, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Reyes. Like it's kind of stuff that he hasn't really used in the past, so he's using a lot more of that on here, and I get that because he's used more of an Atlanta sound on here that's being utilized a lot. look, the West Side Gun joint is the West Side Gun joint. To me, using West Side Gun to open up your album is a brilliant idea because it goes to show you how much artists, whether it's commercial or underground or the mid-level, respect this guy and how important he is to the culture of hip-hop and to what he's been able to accomplish in hip-hop. Like, we're not going to sit here and say, no, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
Look, literally song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, to me, I was like, whoa, like, this is well balanced. This is a well balanced production and a well balanced artist. Like, those fucking 7 songs, if you said, Steven, this is a 7-song album, this is a fucking 9 on 10. Literally the first 7 songs. I love every single one of them. What he was able to do with Glory, Work, Community featuring Pusha T,
and Malice, bro. Fuck, Malice is on a mission to be the best lyricist on every fucking song. What the fuck is wrong with him?
I'm telling you now, like, I'm gonna start, believing in God, going to church. I want to start doing all that stuff so I can I want to be like Malice. Like, I literally want to be like Malice. Like, I don't understand where this guy is coming from. Like, I'm a huge Pusha T fan, but his brother is literally annihilating everything possible. In any beat you give Malice, he'll fucking kill. And I love that he always ends everything because it's just so much more touching. I don't know if that makes sense.
Malice is like the new Jay Electronica. Like, if Jay Electronica actually rapped more than 3 verses in his whole career, but Malice is incredible right now. Like, that last verse is disgusting. Like, all my homies Mob Deep, the fittest will survive here. Come on, dog. Come on. Come on.
And it's crazy that we didn't hear from him for so long, but he put out his records and he did his things here and there, but because of his beliefs and what he went through and where he had to go, it's kind of like, fuck, did we forget how good he was? He's always been this good.
Yeah.
But he's just way better now for some odd reason. That song with Vince Staples, who better to be on a song like that or on a beat like that than fucking Vincent Staples?
Yeah, perfect.
Like, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to be that guy.
I jumped. I'm gonna
be that guy. If you don't like Vince Staples' music, I really think there's something wrong with you. Maybe you're not listening, but again, Vince Staples is another artist, part of that big, whatever you want to call it. You put him in that circle. And I didn't say that at the beginning because I was waiting to talk about the song. Vince Staples is one of those guys from that mainstream that is very important to be able to go listen to. Derick, if you've never heard Summertime 06,
I have.
If you've never heard Big Fish Theory,
I don't believe I did. No.
Fucking go listen to every single Vince Staples record. Okay.
I think the first time I discovered Vince Staples was he did I think he did a freestyle on Shade 45.
Could be, probably.
I think that was really like my come up into like hip hop, was really listening more to freestyles on those shows like Funk Flex and Shade 45 and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think I do believe I listened to one of his things, and I remember thinking to myself, like, that's a young guy. Like, I remember watching that and like he was like almost like a kid. And then I started working with you, and I was like, okay, let's see where this is going. But I have to agree with you in terms of the mainstream, though, that's not like the obvious names, like the J. Cole and the Kendrick and all that kind of jazz. Tyler, I put Tyler in, like, he's always there, but I do feel there's a level of artistry to his music that is maybe some of the other mainstream guys don't have. But yeah, Vince Staples, Tyler the Creator is, I think for me sonically, it's probably a different. I think Vince Staples, his lyricism is absolutely off this earth, and then I think that JID flow wise has something very interesting that the other two don't have. So for me, in terms of the mainstream, if So if you're listening to hip hop and the only names that you could think of are Kendrick, rightfully so, nothing against Kendrick. If the names that keep coming up are Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake, you're missing three other artists here that you will probably like or probably find a project that you like. You just have to listen. You know, it's weird. It's as if like some people know about JID, not everyone does, but everyone knows about Kendrick. There's like that weird dichotomy of we know certain things, but we don't venture past a certain thing. And I feel like that's probably what the mainstream music is lacking the most is guys like us that we listen to so much different stuff. We really have our hats in a whole bunch of different scenarios. So like before we're talking about Roc Marciano, that's his own thing. West Side Gun, that's its own thing. JID, it's its own thing. Vince Staples, its own thing. We sort of have a whole bunch of like fishing lines and a whole bunch of different things. The mainstream, I feel like they stick to that one artist. They're aware of the competition of that artist, and then it stops there. There's nothing that goes further than that. And I do feel like JID is probably one of those guys that's trying to push that envelope because the only thing that he suffered from releasing his previous album was the fact that he released it the same year that Kendrick released his. Had Kendrick not released an album that year, JID would have probably been who everyone was talking about, but it wasn't because Kendrick released. So it's one of those things of like, now if we don't have a mainstream artist that releases this year, JID might skyrocket up and people might start taking more notice of it. And then having features like Vince Staples, like West Side Gun, like Pusha and Malice. Now, maybe that's going to open some ears more. Don't get me wrong. The Clips project was absolutely phenomenal as well. But it might open the ears to some mainstream just a little bit more because he might be that guy by the time the year ends. He might be mainstream guy number one for this year anyway. So for that impact alone, this project for me just meant more in that regards.
I understand what you were saying with that.
What about the beats? You guys like the beats?
I would say the first half of the album, I would say up until What We On, because to me, What We On is where the album started to kind of not fall off, but kind of went into a different direction where you had more of the R&B-ish. I don't like using that word, but more of the lesser heavy, the lesser impactful songs, because it was the midway to the album, and then it started to pick up a bit more. Like What We On, I don't like. I like it's a decent song, but it's a very skippable song that doesn't need to be on this project for me. I get why it's there though. Wholeheartedly with Ty Dolla $ign and Black, I think it's a really it's where it's supposed to be on the record. The beat is whatever. No Boo, I get, and then And We Vibing kind of puts me back interested into the album, if that makes any sense. Because like On McAfee is really good. I like K-Word with Pastor Troy. I wish I had my world heavyweight champion because he had the wrestling belts in hip hop before people had the wrestling belts in hip hop. And yeah, like, but again, the first half of the record, those 7 songs are some of his best songs to me. And Skate, which is talking about the roller skating scene in Atlanta.
I love that song.
It's the ATL movie. That's the first thing that popped into my brain, and it's amazing that it sounds like what I would listen to if I was going roller skating. Even though I've never been roller skating, and I've never been to I've never been roller skating. I've never been to Atlanta. I would love to do both at the same time.
Wow, you know, was one of my earliest memory of when I lived in Longueuil. What? It was I was going to the Palladium over there.
Oh yeah,
and you could ask for song requests, and I would always ask Joel Santana. Oh yes, when I was a kid.
So let's go. I'll do roller skating with you.
It still exists, but it's sad over here. It's not like in Atlanta when people dance around and stuff. Here is gonna be just sad. It's just sad.
But yeah, look, I like the album. It's not a bad album. It's a really decent album. I got to spend more time with it because listening to it a fifth, sixth time, I started to realize what he was trying to do with this and in which direction he was going on, really basing it on an Atlanta, quote unquote, Atlanta style, Atlanta sound, where
It's
he's
very,
also,
yeah.
well, he's also trying to get into his Outcast bag and his very commercialized Outcast sound after Stankonia. If that
I
makes
can
sense
see
to
that. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I didn't see it that way, but it is. He is turning a bit more like poppy sound, like, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's still enjoyable. The fucking problem is that 57 minutes is very it's long, and
Yeah.
I trying to listen to an album for 57 minutes, and I love long albums. It's just you need to be able to keep me hooked in,
Yeah.
and when it starts to fall off, I'm kind of getting not annoyed or bored, but I'm trying to be like, oh, okay, let me skip song. Oh, this one picks up good. I want that in my in my
we
albums.
spoke about this in previous album reviews of having proper layering and proper build up to your album. And maybe it's just the fact that some songs are in the wrong place. Sometimes it's the case. Sometimes song
Yeah.
8 shouldn't be
It can be.
song 8. Sometimes song 8 should be song 4, you know? But
Could
then
be.
sometimes you look at the overall project and you're like, who looked at this project, listened to this project, and did everyone feel the same way Steven felt? If that's the case and that's what was
Yeah.
intended, then sure. But someone should be able to raise their hand and like, hey, I feel like there's a dip that shouldn't really be a dip at this point. Like either your album does a parabolic sort of rise, which it goes up and then you bring it back down as more people do, or you want to have the album that sort of does this but keeps still at like a relatively like unique pace. And then you have some albums, and keep in mind, everyone's going to react differently to different songs and different beats and different slow periods in an album. But like Steven said, something like this warrants us talking about of maybe sometimes the album should be layered differently, or maybe some songs sometimes should be bumped up and brought back down. There should be a, you guys mentioned it before whenever we discussed the previous album of, was it rushed? Was it just something put together? Was there a vision for this album other than the message? Was there a vision for the beats that went along with the vision of the message? So if he's trying to do is really have the Atlanta sound and the Atlanta based thing, okay, so that's the message of the album. But then how do we want the sound to evolve throughout that message?
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I feel like that might be the kind of thing that maybe was not overlooked, or maybe there wasn't proper time invested in it in that regards, or maybe they just didn't think about it, or maybe they just felt like that's what was right. But that's the beauty about music, is that I'm going to react differently to it. Steven's going to react differently to it. And out of all the albums that we talked about, minus the first one, this is the one where like it didn't really matter what beat he was on. I know he's going to come with it, and I know he's going to make that beat work because he has such a unique ear for flow and rhythm and cadence that it didn't really matter the beat. I was so captivated by his flow and his cadence and how he approached the beat that it made me forget about the beat. But that's also me coming from a slightly more untrained background in terms of hip hop production compared to other music production. Whereas the both of you have a certain knack and a certain ear for hip hop production or maybe a training to that hip hop ear for production that I just don't have. So in cases like this, I tend to forget about the beat and just focus on him. Rather than putting emphasis on the negative, I put emphasis on only the positive, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But to your point, I think me and Malenko, and I'll talk to myself for myself, but me and Malenko have had these conversations. We're very, very into production. A guy that's literally never fucking made a beat in his life. I just find that if you remove that, you really don't have a base for anything, if that makes sense. And Malenko touched on a point before of he wasn't big into the production and I understand where he's coming from with that.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like it's not bad beats though. It's not something bad. It's just there's nothing that I don't know. I think I love a touch of weirdness into beats when it's too conventional and it's too loud.
Or it's too...
I need something that is like that's gonna catch my ear a little bit more. Like Glory, the second beat, Glory. Okay, that beat is a flawless. Like the production on it is quality production. There's progression throughout. There's new sounds throughout. The gospel layovers are good. The 808s are quality 808s. You're gonna get a lot of variations to it, but there's nothing that's catching my ear like on previous JID. Like, yeah, I always remember Ed and Eddie. That's something that I like about that song. Is the catchiness of the beat. Yeah. And I don't know, man. And listen, this is now on a couple of listens. Maybe in a couple of months, I'm gonna like those. I'm gonna appreciate more the beats. But it's really an Atlanta-based sound album, and I think I just like my beat a little bit more weird or something that stick out more.
Here, I'm gonna give Derick a perfect example. Then we'll move on to our score. When you listen to the Slime Stew 2, okay, the godBLESSbeatz, listen to all the different things that are happening within the production at the same time that makes the beat way more interesting. So if you're moving away from the artist that's rapping on the album, you're going to pay attention to the production because the production has its own story in it, if that makes sense, Derick. Mm-hmm. So like the beat Logo in the Sky that we spoke about before from godBLESSbeatz, there's a lot of instrumentations happening within that production. Cheddar Biscuit, there's a lot of production. The Recipe, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, but Derick knows. Yeah. He listen to metal.
Yeah, but
like metal is the most, like, you cannot have more production on metal. Like it's the best thing. Like, but not every breakdown. Mm-hmm. How simple a breakdown is in metal, sometimes there's some breakdowns that are just not gonna hit.
Yeah.
And there's some metals that are gonna hit.
Yeah,
they're different. Yeah. It's so weird.
It's hit and miss. It's hit and miss.
Yeah. There's some breakdowns, the way the track is a breakdown, mm-hmm. but the way they take it to that point, break it down, and mm-hmm. then come back up, is super important. Yeah. Or the transition, or the note, or the vocal that they're gonna use to the transition, like it's catchy, or is not.
Yeah,
you know,
I get it.
There's a song on here that I can't remember which one it is, but there's a beat switch towards the beginning of the album, and the beat, and it's very aggressive and eerie, the beat, and I can't remember if it's the third song.
It's Work, I think
it's Work.
Yeah, you might be right. I think it is Work. I'm gonna go.
It's Work.
Yeah. And that's a fucking interesting and amazing beat.
That was really good. Yeah,
that gave me a lot of chromacopia type of vibe on the second part.
Yeah. Malenko, you want to add anything for this record?
No, man. I think JID is still top of the game. Honestly,
he had some amazing flows on here, and there's parts where he became.
And that was his last album with Dreamville.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, right?
So I read that too. I don't
Dreamville
know.
Didn't help him much. I'm just gonna say it. Dreamville didn't help him much.
Nope, zero help.
Go to TD.
Derick, anything you want to add for this record? I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of JID. Listen, I always enjoy his flow, and for me, he's one of those artists that got me into hip hop just by the flow. I was like, this is different. I've never really heard someone flow like this, or at least the ear that he has and the way he has to write certain beats are not ways that other artists would write those beats. I feel like he's always trying to one up himself and challenge himself, and with beat switches or flow switches and the cadence and the flow. I've also spoken about this. I love inflection in a song. I love when an artist inflects his voice up and down depending on the message he wants to portray. If he's at a softer part, he lowers his voice. If he's at a higher part, higher energy, he ups his voice. I do like that. For me. That's proper storytelling, even in just the way that he communicates. I'm curious to see where it goes from here. If it's the last album with Dreamville, I'm really curious to see where it goes from here for him. I always look forward to his project. So bring on the next one. We'll be listening.
Your score?
For myself, it's going to be 8.5 on 10.
Michael?
I go for an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to go with a 7.5 on this one. Keep it nice and well balanced. Boys, I think today is the last day I'll be listening to hip hop because I am going to go in a deep dive into post-hardcore and punk.
Which band?
I'm gonna probably listen to Refused. I'm in a Refused mood. I don't know. I feel like listening to AFI. I feel like listening to fucking Fugazi. I feel like listening to a bunch of fucking. I don't know. I'm just in a fucking really punk rock, post-hardcore. I don't know. Fucking Drain. Fucking listen to that.
That new single
is fucking
insane. My God, I can't wait to drop. There's so many albums dropping, and for me, the one that I'm most excited of that I've been listening to the singles, and I never do this, Evidence.
Oh fuck, it's true. There's the new Evidence, but that's at the end of August, no?
Yes, at the end of August, 5 songs released. I listened to those 5 songs.
Unlearning Volume 2
over and over again.
I didn't hear any, by the way, because I'm doing a U and not.
Yes. Oh my God. And I different phrases to me is it just hits.
Do I buy the CDs for us?
Evidence. Yes, I think I'm gonna buy the CD for Evidence.
Well, it's out, so I'm gonna purchase it for us. Yes or no?
The 2 is out already. The CDs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, take him.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Take them, and that's one I've been listening the most. Honestly, that and the Black Teddy Santis.
Fuck that! Did you hear the Andre the Saint, Derick, the Black Teddy Santis? You don't listen to the podcast, so I don't know if you knew.
So I clicked on that podcast and I fell down the rabbit hole of other podcasts. I do like Andre the Saint. I've listened to 2 songs, I believe, from it, and then JID came out, and I had to listen to JID.
I love it.
But yeah, I'll listen. So I have 24 hours left before New Music gets released on Friday. I got a whole bunch of albums to listen to, and luckily tomorrow's a slow day at work, so I'm gonna get to it.
I'm gonna tell you, I was shopping expensive antiques. Okay. While listening to Black Teddy Santis, it fit the fucking flow perfectly. I was in the mood.
Malenko, give your score on the Black Teddy Santis, Andre the Saint, since we didn't give scores when we had him on.
It's an 8.5 easily.
100%. I was going to go with an 8.5 as well. Sometimes I'm listening to it and it's a 9. It's fucking really well put together.
I like the vibe. It just fits the vibe that I want to.
Yeah, and I think it's that and Open Up Shop are his 2 best projects. And
so many albums.
And you could go back and forth. We're gonna get up out of here. Derick, you listened to the Top Hooter, right?
Yes.
What did you think of it, real quick?
I think
it was interesting when I sent that record to you because I really wanted to know what you thought, because I think I think it's incredible, and I think it's a fucking very vulnerable album from an artist who is literally pouring out his heart, and we don't really get that from a lot of artists. And it was just amazing to see for somebody just being so honest and vulnerable within his music.
Yeah. So for me, I think I listened to it maybe 2 or 3 times. It did feel heavy, just from where it came from. I don't think I was necessarily like in the mood or ready for that type of, I guess, vulnerability is the word I'm looking for. But it is on my list to revisit because I just didn't feel like my ear was ready for that. And I did want to give it justice, because when you send me albums, I always eventually listen to them. For the podcast, though, sometimes I have to pick one or two, and then I just have to ride with those and revisit the others. That one's and the God Bless Beats are the two that I have to revisit. I'll probably talk to you. I'll probably shoot you a text message about that one specifically once I actually fully listen to it.
Amazing. That was Top Hooter handing out samples. And I'm telling you, the fucking production on there by Tremendous. Smart Fools into the Shapeshifter beat. Smart Fools is one of Tremendous's best fucking produced song. Malenko, thanks for joining. Derick, we'll see you in about 6 months. Don't forget the new Deftones is out. Both of you better listen to that shit.
We'll get to it.
We'll talk soon.
Yes.
And for everybody that listened, do not forget to like and subscribe. Peace.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace.